Hello, my beautiful ignited souls. I am Crimey Queen, and I would like to invite you to dig in deep with me while I explore scriptural references and the state of affairs, just highlighting how the numerology from the scripture really impacts on us. So basically, it's like we are reliving a manual, or we are living from a manual, something that has been written. It's very much alive. I thought the Bible was just a book, but it is a not just a mathematical book. Well, shouldn't say just because everything adds up or it divides or it subtracts. It is maths. So this is what we have been living, but we had not been aware of what formula we are being tested on, if you like. Are we multiplying? By the way, there are five fruits or five commands. The five first commands that is given to us was, I believe it's to do with all these signs. Are we adding? Are we subduing? Perhaps subduing means like subtracting. Are we being fruitful? That means are we adding? Are we multiplying? And so on. So you get that. As I would say, get the juice. So I have been doing this sacrifice template, just breaking it down a little so that when I do other videos, it would be much easier for you to understand the essence of what I'm trying to convey without going too much into the template again. So the sacrifice template was devised from, of course, from the story of Jesus Christ. It was on Easter time and numbers 1 to 9 because it is of 9 numbers. And I thought, well, this is really very strange. After discovering as well that there were 14 gods, but the said God who is responsible for all the words, let there be light, let there be this, and let there be that, is the said God. And of course, it begins with S and ends, and we have E, which is denoting Mother Eve, who is also the said God. I have done a video with a list of words that derive from the word sacrifice, and there was even Scarface. So that told me as well, wasn't it funny that they would have Scarface as a sacrifice? And if you have watched the movie, well, there was a sacrifice. Okay. So this is where I want to concentrate on. We saw that BKT is the only, it's not the only, well, we could say the only column onto the left here that is completely intact like those on the right. And then we have in the blue, we have luck. But luck, which is the number three, that is a lucky three, is the only number or only column that has not been, um, that has not got a set construct, if you like. When I say a set, it is luck, but it is the column that I was able to move every letter on completely. That's just really occurred to me right now. So basically explaining that. So it meant I was in a creative mode and very intuitively, and to have the derived in this luck. So I had stroke the real lucky free right here to come up with this. To see that there were 11 letters onto that side, onto the right, which coincides with the essence of change. So adding 5 plus 6 gives us 11. And also the whole numbers here, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. 17 letters actually coincides with 17 for God. When we do the numerical value for God, God is 764. This is 17. And of course, 1 plus 7 is 8. Now, what we have found out over time doing all this, and increasingly more so, is that the in doing God means coming to number 8. This is exactly where we are at when we do the numerical value for the word 20. We are in the year 2020. So let me just save on time not to keep doing this, but this is 26, and 2 plus 6 is 8. So we see that in Mother Eve's 8 Latins, because there were 8 Latins. The 8 Latins then tells us that this is like Mother Eve has come to her, or a stage of goddessness, or, or goddess-ship or something. But then it's like, one has come to the height um, of their academic qualification or something, or profession, and in that profession is 8. Whatever you are doing and you get to 8, this is why Mother Eve had eaten of the fruit. So when it says Eve ate of the fruit, that meant she had taken on her power, the power, her God-given power, if you like, just just to keep things simple, and so had made magnificent change. Should we say magnificent? Okay. Or a significant change. Well, which is the result of who we are. So 8 is here, and of course Adam ate as well. So we can see that that was a demarcation of the whole change of creation entirely, which is the point I am making. Is this is exactly the phase we are in right now, and we are in 2020. So 2 8s, I keep repeating things over in different ways, so hopefully that you pick it up in some way. So we are in 2020, perfect vision, and with this 20 equals 8, so it means we have 8 right here and 8 here, but 2 8s together, of course 8 and 8, 16. 1 plus 6 is 7, and that is also denoting that the perfect creation. Now when we do 7 in numerical values, it comes to number 20. So that also confirms, it's like doing mathematics or long division, and it comes back to the same thing. So you know that you have proven your answer to be correct. I hope you get this. So it's 2 8s. So this is where we get to be, to do God. So of course we'll see and draw on the pattern or the correlation and connection with 8 here and this column, which is where I feel that people can manipulate others. This is in this column that people can also enrich others too. It's like, but it's where you get into agreement and you can't get out of it until the contract is over or the contract is completed. So you have to live the full cycle. I don't think you can really escape from 13, because once you enter into this section, it's like you are in an incubator. Now, I also realize that this number here, 13, correspond to with America. I was looking at America, for instance, which had 13 colonies, and 13, of course. So it's interesting how they came into independence, which is that same formula that I see is playing out here. So, of course, when they did sign the Declaration of Independence, or there was 56 men. I'm drawing this into this as well to show that there were 56 men, meaning 5 and 6, meaning they had to be in the middle of sacrifice. The middle eye was open. This is the 666, but that middle eye or centered eye, which forms like a pyramid, they've been on the top, meaning they were at an elevated stage high enough that they could see how to maneuver themselves. So, of course, from this two here in the 13, they were able to have this. 13 is the number of death. In and of course in numerology, death, the word death equals 20, but 13 is also 2, because we have not only that we have 1 plus 3 is 4 and divisible by 2, but you can see that it actually comes under this column. So in case you hadn't seen this as well, I'll just show you how 13 is here as well, because 13 is B is perhaps the only letter, perhaps the only letter that has this complete link with the numbers. All the numbers and letters are linked, but there is a kind of direct link with B. So we have this 13, but this is when people get into agreement. So basically, when slaves, for instance, were sent, or they bought, slave masters bought slaves and so on, and there was the agreement or whatever, and perhaps even like in Britain where people thought they were coming for a better life, so they agreed, leave the slaves behind, they agreed that they were going to come for a better life, but they signed that paper, they signed that agreement and came to England for a better life. They thought they were coming on streets of gold, and so only to find out on the doors were no dogs, no blacks, and no Irish allowed, or something like this. But they had signed into it or agreed into it, and there was an equal agreement, whether it was spoken or not, there was a covert or overt. It was a communication, an agreement had taken place. So this agreement is equal. It's an equal sign. And so, of course, one has to come to your level to have this understanding, whether they are hierarchy or not, but they have to speak your language for you to be able to not even understand, but come to some agreement. Just say, just so you say, yeah, I understand. Yes, often we just don't want to seem ignorant to whatever it is we don't know. So we say yes, and then we go, we sign. And so this is, oh, my pen. Wow. So this is when we form the bond. And this is how 13 becomes the beehive. 13 becomes the beehive. It's like a cemetery. It is like a cemetery, and I don't know if why this has come, but because I like, well, I do walk, like to walk in cemeteries. It's quiet, it's tranquil, it gives you time to think. You know, it makes you really think. What is it like down there? Well, you don't really want to ask that now, but am I ready for the time? You know, when my time comes, or do I want to be there, or do I want to be whatever it is? What do I want to do on planet Earth? How do I want to live? Did this person, you look at dates on benches and things like that, or on headstones, and you think, oh, you get an image about this person who you don't know, but you do get an image. So, but this is like an incubator, so it offers you an element of life as well as knowing that it is a cemetery. So this is what B is. It's that death. It's the seed in the ground, you know, that you cover with dirt and then it rises again. So voila. So that there we are. This is what I really want to show here. So basically, I want to emphasize the significance of this, and that's why I also draw, as I say, I have drawn on to the um the the 56 men who signed this agreement, this declaration, and of course there is a debate whether the independence was done on the 4th of the 7th, which is what is celebrated, or some say it was actually signed on the 2nd of the 8th, 1776, which means that that would carry a vibration or numerical vibration of the number 3. Number 3 is that W anyway, which is vibrant, which is um, dynamic, and it's seeking, it's dramatic, it's everything. So no, number 3, because that's W, and it's coming. That is where you have been faced with your other you. You're carrying the two aspects of yourself. So we can see even with W, it bears a figure or the same semblance as W. Sorry, well, it is W. Free is like W, which is what I mean. So free is W. It's also E, as it carries the element of or essence of Mother Eve. It is also M, like for mother, who is nurturing, who is giving, all these two domes, whether it was the rare, or whatever it is, but we carry this hair. And so we can see that the number two, which is also hair, because 1 plus 1 as 11 equals 2, that qualifies the person who is able to be in that position to tap into hair, directly tap into hair. And it's no wonder 2 plus 2 would have that 4, which is the 13. So you are able to tap into this vortex, rather tap into this vortex, which is where people are offered, oh yes, you have been offered um a free meal, or buy one get one free, or 50% of the marked price, and all of those things that you have bought into, but you had not realized that it is a bait to really get yourself here. Hence, you are occupied with the next offer, or buy one bucket of Kentucky Fried Chicken and you will get another free or half price. And you just keep living your existence in this realm right here. And of course, those who have helped to put you there, if you like, because you are at liberty to really move from there, but you have to be conscious of where you're at before you can know where you're going. And so, those who are able to put you there, of course, are able to go back into the developmental stage, because of course you have earned them something, you have helped them create the empire or whatever it is. And this D, for instance, denotes 15 as well. So we have 2 4 6, and this is 15, D is 15, but as well we have free is also divisible, free, by both 15 and 6 when we do 15, sorry, 15 of the D's, or even 12 here, because this would be 12, for a 12, because it carries a numerical value of 4 right here. So we can see here, for instance, that there is it's how this is designed to entrap quite a lot of people here. It's designed that way. And people need to be aware. This is why in the scriptures that this be here, Christ broke bread. He broke it. This is why in the scriptures, Moses was in the burning bush, or he encountered the burning bush. This is why I think it's Ezekiel who was said to rise or do something with the dry bones. So there were dry bones. The B words are there. I'm sure there probably is something with Abraham, father of all fathers, with the B. And this is why the brothers of all the brothers, in fact, all we have the brothers Cain and Abel. Um, there was the slain. It's all to do with number 13, which is 2. So Cain killed Abel, or slay Abel, right here. And this has different meanings to it, but let's just go into the pattern. This is why Esau and Jacob, of course, there was the trickery as well. Hey, remember, it was only about a cup of soup or something like this. We are in, let's see, 19 minutes. So I'm going to um, actually keep this short. Yeah. So this is why we can see the bee. It coincides with the beehive. The bees, or the bees are working really hard for the queen bee right here. This is the column, and of course we can see in Revelation. This is Revelation is beginning here. It's no wonder that even with the E here we have Eve. Eve is like wanting us to see what is happening. And perhaps this is why Eve also said, "You shall not surely die," because she knew that there was another way with this three. Number three here is saying, this is your chance to strike luck and learn how to use these three. You can manipulate it just like I did. And that's what we are co-creators here. We are meant to, we are created to do this. We don't have to. I could have easily gone with this and write A, B, C, D, just as we have learned it. But this is the other level of that we need to tap into, that we are creative beings in a creative world to do creative things. And so, what stops you from moving these letters wherever you want them to? That's what we do when we are writing. We move letters to make sense in and form words. So why wouldn't I want to do take the opportunity to do that here? And we see the divine blessing or guidance has really shown me that this is a very robust template. So I will do another video, but before I go on, I really, of course, we saw how it was happening here, which coincides with Mother Eve who ate of the fruit. And this is why we want to be able to taste this deliciousness of this information, so we can begin to shape our lives in the way we really want it to be. We do not have to be gagged with mask on our mouths and to shut up, as people say you should, because all this is very symbolic of what, of taking away your voice. This is so in tune and so in tune with what is happening when you on your devices, that your voice is one to be used, is requested to be used as an ID. It tells you, yes, you don't have to wait. What was wrong with waiting before that time when you did? I'm not saying that you shouldn't do it or have use for it, but I'm just saying this is very symbolic. And wearing this thing, I can tell you, wearing this thing for over this time, people are not going to they're not going to exercise their voices as they should or as they could otherwise, because you have been gagged and you are instrumental in gagging yourself. This is really something. Okay, so and I'm not saying not to take precaution if you feel you are in an environment that you need to do that. It's, use your intuition, but be conscious. That's the thing, be conscious. Yeah. So, yeah, so I was saying that there were 17 letters here. So I'm going to do another video, which is 17 letters, and it will be useful to find out the numerical value of this and what message it is conveying. And we also have 2, 4, 6, 8, and 1. So it's 9. So 9 letters in the blue. All right, so I hope you have found this quite delicious and palatable. So do join me again while we explore this 17 letters. I may do something even before this, but 17 is 8, of course. 1 plus 7 is 8, and 8 plus 9 is 17. So you can see how God is still very significant, very symbolic here. And of course, as I say, we are in this 8th phase. It's the time for you to create phase, and to create in this phase, to create is 11. 1 plus 1. This is where we are meant to, we are creating, but now we are actually going to explore this. We are meant to be calling on the God. This is when you find out, what is my calling? My calling is that God who is calling you, to show you, to tell you. And that's why as well, calling, the mouth, again, is instrumental in calling. And we, Just don't tell anyone. Yes, do tell everyone, tell the whole world. Okay, I'm glad we have dug deep once more. Stay ignited, wonderful, beautiful souls. Do share my video if you like. Remember to give me a thumbs up just to encourage other people to be ignited as well on this path of actualizing self, full love. This is what I call it because all these are derived from my writings of two publications of the Crimson Light. So now and then I like to just acknowledge this. Thank you. Namaste. And spill over with love. Stay ignited.